Tomorrow, Tahsildar Charminar will request you to provide men and machinery to demolish unauthorized construction. He will not reveal you the fact. Tomorrow he will come and demolish High Court. Who is at fault? Tell me. Your men and machinery are at fault or not?
That's a Telangana High Court judge directing a question to A. Ranganath, an officer who heads the organization called HYDRAA. Now that does sound like a Marvel villain, but in Hyderabad, it's a very different kind of beast. One that's also spreading fear. Look, whenever a city floods, we always talk about removing illegal constructions, right? In Telangana, it seems that cleanup has already started, but things are already getting messy. So this week, let's look at why HYDRAA, which is the Telangana Chief Minister's brainchild, is mired in controversy. And why accusations of arbitrary action are flying thick and fast. After coming to power, Telangana Chief Minister Revnath Reddy painted himself as a protector of lakes and his political rivals BRS as the villains. And this gave birth to HYDRAA. In the last few months, HYDRAA has caused quite a stir in Hyderabad. It all started when they demolished the Young Convention Center, which is owned by actor Nagarjuna and hosted many elite weddings. And they didn't stop there. They went after many projects like Oro Sports Village and buildings owned by big companies like Greenco. HYDRAA was on a mission. Here at the News Minute 2, we are on a mission to report only based on facts. And we too, by the way, go on demolition drives. We demolish misinformation and propaganda. If you like our journalism, then do support us by becoming a TNM and Newslaundry subscriber. Hyderabad Disaster Response and Asset Monitoring and Protection Agency, HYDRAA. It was set up by Telangana government in July to handle disaster response and protect public assets across the city's core urban region. And this was done under GO 99. This region isn't just Hyderabad. It stretches beyond, covering the GHMC and areas all the way up to the outer ring road. Over 2,000 square kilometers. That's a lot of ground. 27 municipalities and 33 village panchayats are now part of HYDRAA's territories. HYDRAA's team is a mix of people from different city departments: GHMC, Water Board, Traffic Police, and many others. Their job? To protect lakes, government lands, and even help with daily city problems like water drainage and traffic management. Soon after they were formed, they went on a demolition overdrive, razing hundreds of structures: houses, apartments, schools, commercial buildings, and even a hospital building. At first, people praised HYDRAA for its bold actions, especially against big builders. There's also a little bit of background for this. The previous BRS-led government was heavily criticized by activists and residents for scrapping a government order that could have cleared a lot of encroachment. That's GO 111. After the government order was scrapped, the court saw a surge in lawsuits with many accusations of encroachments coming to light. So HYDRAA was positioned as a move to correct this. At the beginning, the criticism against HYDRAA came mostly from political parties. The BJP, AIMIM, and the BRS alleged that HYDRAA had no legal authority and is being used by the government as a tool to target properties owned by leaders from opposition parties. But as the bulldozers were let loose, more questions began. Questions that common citizens started asking too. Was HYDRAA sparing properties of Congress leaders? Questions about several buildings linked to Congress leaders like Revnath Reddy's brother came up. His bungalow in the upscale Madhapur area is alleged to encroach a lake. The HYDRAA went ahead and issued a notice to him along with 200 residents of the area, but they've now gotten a stay from the Telangana High Court. But there were many more names that came up. Properties of Revenue Minister Ponguleti Srinivas Reddy, other Congress leaders like Sukendra Reddy, Madhu Yakshigaud were spared. But other constructions were targeted, many times without even a notice. after these questions came up, suddenly HYDRAA announced that they wouldn't demolish houses that are occupied. So what's really going on? Why was HYDRAA acting so arbitrarily? Why were some people getting notices while others weren't? Some people got them on a Saturday or Sunday when it would be difficult to approach the courts. Now look at this case. A house in Aminpur on Hyderabad's outskirts was raised on a Sunday. A writ petition was filed, and the judge was not happy with HYDRAA and the Tehsildar for raising a structure on a holiday. The judge reminded the officers of a High Court's ruling against carrying out demolitions on a holiday. He asked them why the owner wasn't given the required 48-hour notice to vacate the house.
20th September, she has issued a notice requesting the petitioner to vacate the premises within 48 hours. Is it not our duty to wait for 48 hours? Is it not our duty to wait for Monday? Why you are providing men and machinery support to the Tehsildar to do an illegal thing on a Sunday?
And when the HYDRAA officers said that they were just following the notice given by the Tehsildar, the judge asked if they'll demolish the iconic Charminar, and even the High Court if they were given notices. This raises questions on what the mandate of HYDRAA really is. Because in some cases, HYDRAA says that they just provide the men and machinery. But in other cases, they also send notices. So what are HYDRAA's powers? There's complete lack of clarity on this. Then there's the question of who determines the FTL. By the way, FTL means the full tank level, and it's based on this that many of the demolitions are carried out. Will HYDRAA set the FTL, or they'll go by what the other agencies have said? What about buildings that have all the documents, like the NOC, water and electricity connections? Does that not mean that they were legal till now? And if the permissions and connections were given illegally, will the agencies and officers be held accountable now? What about compensations? Some have been relocated and some others have no clarity. Just when HYDRAA started demolishing, Revnath announced Moosi development plan.
Hyderabad నగర అభివృద్ధి కోసం మూసి పరివాహక అభివృద్ధి కోసం 5 ఏళ్లలో 1,50,000 కోట్ల రూపాయలతోని ప్రణాళికలు సిద్ధం చేసి తొందరలోనే పనులు ప్రారంభించబోతున్నామని చెప్పి మీ అందరి సమక్షంలో ఇయాల మనం ప్రకటించుకుంటున్నాం.
Like all civilizations, Hyderabad was established along the banks of a river, Moosi in this case, which was the city's lifeline for centuries before it was turned into a massive drain that it is today. There was a great Moosi flood in 1908, after which 2 reservoirs were built, Osman Sagar and Himayat Sagar. For years, Moosi has been encroached upon and has become a dumping place, and even GHMC has been accused of dumping garbage here. Moosi is polluted and its water contaminated, and there's no doubt that Moosi needs rejuvenation and its plains need to be cleared of encroachment. In 2017, the BRS government formed the MRDCL as a special purpose vehicle, but Congress says not much was done. The problem now is that the HYDRAA is going on a demolition drive and Revnath is announcing Moosi plan. It seems now thousands of houses will be demolished. The government has not made any official announcement about clearing up, and the media is full of speculation that many houses have been identified in the buffer and the FTL zone. And then 163 houses on the Moosi riverbed were just raised. A few of the residents were given accommodation in 2 BHK houses, but again, there's no clarity on compensation. Some reports say there are 10,000 structures on the riverbed and buffer zone. Some others say there are 60 to 70,000 structures. Basically, there's a massive confusion. Let's be real. 60% of Hyderabad's lakes are encroached upon. It's a huge problem. There's even something called the Shikam Patta, which basically means dried up lakes that have been turned into agricultural land, and eventually people just started building on them. It's been happening for so long that it feels normal at this point. Of course, everybody agrees that cleaning up the Moosi River is important, but it can't be done without a proper plan. What about people living in these areas? What about holding officials accountable for letting this happen for so long in the first place? HYDRAA cannot be allowed to act like an all-powerful force without checks and balances. Is it just providing men and machinery, or does it even have the authority to make decisions? Also, who decides which buildings fall under the FTL zone? These are questions people in Hyderabad need answers to. Are you a resident of Hyderabad, and are you also worried that your building might come under the purview of HYDRAA? What are people around you saying? Do write to me at pooja@thenewsminute.com and give me your feedback. Not just Hyderabad, this is a problem that plagues many big cities, be it Bangalore, Chennai, Kochi, or other parts of the country too. What should really governments do? What is a good idea to clear encroachment? These are questions that we can continue debating about. Meanwhile, do follow our coverage on the HYDRAA issue. We have reporters on the ground. We'll bring you explainers, interviews, and all the relevant voices.